fucking old. Getting crazy.
Gotta moisturize more.
So we'll start the show.
Yeah, moisturize. You
gotta moisturize more.
Put some lotion on the skin.
Hey everybody, welcome to Chris Anderson Comics. We got a very special guest today, the president, CEO, founder, creator of Cosmic Lion Productions, Eli Schwab. Yes. My really, really good friend, one of my best friends, I have to say. We're gonna do kind of a special comic book gene pool episode because we're really gonna get like more of an idea of like what inspired you and how you got into comics. We're gonna start. Well, so before we got this Ninja Turtles issue here, what's your earliest like memories of comics?
I kind of always have comics in my mind. When I was a kid, a really young kid, my dad's friend owned a bookstore that his parents owned and before him. And at my early birthday parties, his gift to me was this little check card thing, like a subscription. So I could go in there once a week or maybe once a month and get a free comic. So I'd go into the book center in Cumberland, Maryland, and Lee would give me a free comic. And I think it was usually like Ninja Turtles Adventures.
Okay.
So like I have this one issue. I should have actually brought that one, but it's issue 4 or 5 when they're on Stump Asteroid. It's the Stump Turtles, and the cover's gone, and it's all ripped up and yellowed. And that's like this comic that took me everywhere.
Okay.
And I took everywhere. So I think Turtles was really my earliest comic memories. Mad magazine too. My dad's like 70s Mads from the attic kind of thing, you know. And so he was always into it, and so he got me into it. And then my mom was really into the Sunday strips. And so we would read those aloud together and sometimes act them out. Like that. So that was really cool. And then I think when I first picked up a Mirage Turtles issue, I think that
had to be jarring.
It was jarring.
Yeah.
I think it was a Zuli, the Zuli Turtles. I remember getting those when I was really young and just being like, what is going on here? These aren't my turtles, but this is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
And then I remember I found this one at, I think it was Wonder Book and Video in Frederick, Maryland, where our friend Adam Lemon is from.
Oh.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
And
Relic Hunter, which is a Cosmic Lion,
another Cosmic Lion book. And I just remember looking at this and just being like, this is so different.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's showing me the turtles in a new way. And it's also this is the first time I think they put the turtles like in high school. Because there's like a dream from each turtle. And so one of the turtles' dreams is, you know, if I could just be a regular kid in high school. And so that's kind of where this is. So, you know, like this is them talking about how much they love Matt Howarth. You know, it seems as though he's been quietly plugging away, churning out his own brand of comics since the early 50s. You know, so
early 50s.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's
But I mean,
wild.
Matt was in heavy metal alongside Droulet and Mobius and, you know, so he had been doing it for a while.
Also, the early ones, the 70s.
Yeah,
70s
exactly.
ones.
Yeah, so Eastman and Laird were like looking at his work. And, you know, so this is them in high school, which is like where the turtles are these days, you know. So this might have even been looked at by those guys.
Wow.
And so there's these dreams, you know, and he's like bored in class and he's like wishing he was out there surfing. And then I just remember these like crazy monsters.
Yeah,
and I'd be like, oh my God, my teacher. And I remember trying to emulate all these drawing styles. Like I never knew how to do any hashing or any of that stuff. And I remember sitting and copying. There's a panel that I'll show you later that I used to just copy over and over and over. And I'll try to draw these monsters. And like this, like with the duotone or with the
Bend-Aid dots.
Yeah. Or maybe it was a zipatone thing.
Yeah,
screen tone. Yeah. And then so here he brings in his characters, the post bros, those annoying post bros, because Leo falls asleep reading all these comics. You can see he put in like all his own comics. Savage Henry, instead of Savage Sword of Conan, Savage Sword of Mike, Taboo.
Taboo. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were all like probably hanging out, you know, the East Coast family.
Yeah. And so these are like the turtles and those annoying post bros crossover. And so
How deep into Turtles did this come out? Like how
issue 41.
Issue 41. Okay.
So it's up there. Like when it starts getting a little crazy, the this is the panel that I drew over and over again. Like, I don't know what it was about it. I think I like the tubes. I like these things, like setting his hand back. I liked how simple the face and mouth were.
Yeah.
Like, and I just drew that all the time. I remember this one too. Like the shading, I never knew how it was done. And I would just sit there and draw, and it never looked as good, obviously. But like, it's just so beautiful. Like
Practice.
the shading here, like the hashing of the night into the trees, into the foreground bush, like it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, this is crazy. This is not your Saturday morning Turtles for sure.
No. And then again, here's Splinter's dream, where he's sitting with, Akira Kagamusha, Albert Einstein, and Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, of course,
As you do.
Yeah.
And then look, he's got like a Lou Reed poster. Like Matt is super into music.
Oh yeah, check that out. So like the dream, it's got the Lou Reed poster, but as he's dreaming, he's imagining himself. So it's like over the top of it. And that's just amazing storytelling right there.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And so maybe even this is the first time I really saw like a music comic either. And, he's so good at these like robot creatures. And Termite Mound, there's a bunch of different things like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, so this was a book that you loved. Fast forward 30 years.
Yeah.
And now you're releasing
a book by Matt Howard.
Yeah.
It's huge. I'm so honored. And, he's doing all the same stuff in this book that he did in the Turtles book. That's
amazing. So cool.
Yeah.
So cool, man.
That's the kind of full circle moments I try to do. And you just reach out to these guys and you never know what they're doing.
So Turtles, was a huge part of your life.
Humongous.
We know that now.
But moving forward and learning that how to make comics, and that there's these things called zines, and that there's underground comics. And so this one I actually picked up at the Jay and Silent Bob's original secret stash in Red Bank, New Jersey. My aunt took me one of these. I had cousins that lived in New York City, and so I'd stay with them sometimes during the summer. And I was like, we got to go to the secret stash. And I had just probably bought the Clerks comic, and I was like, I need to find more Mahfood. And I remember I met that dude, Mike Zapsik, who's in the show. And I said, do you have this Mahfood? He's like, you actually like Mahfood? I'm like, what? I love it. I love his art. Yeah. So this was the one thing they had from him, and I bought it. And then I was like, holy shit, this is just like paper. He self-published this. He is talking about all this crazy stuff. Zombie Kid was one of his earlier things. It had, if I may flip back, it had it actually doesn't have a soundtrack, but so like these appeared in Dark Horse Presents.
Yeah, one pager, the page 9, page 8.
So he was already, and this originally appeared in Big Crap Scare #1, which is a Rob Schraub book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm seeing new stuff in this already because I'm looking at it with fresh new eyes.
Yeah. You probably haven't seen it in a long time.
I haven't looked at it in a long time.
It's wild to see how his style has progressed and changed
so much.
Yeah. This is really cool.
Yeah, this is him like really letting go, and it's almost like closer to his style now because he's so free with his lines.
Yeah, it's loose. Yeah, he just kind of goes, and it's like when he doesn't sit and like think, he just kind of goes. It's like super kinetic,
Like if you watch those videos of him drawing a line, it's absolutely incredible.
I mean, he thinks ahead. He's just when it's time to draw, it's time to draw.
It's just blam.
Yeah.
And so this just really showed me that you can make your own comics, and that if you just fold a piece of paper over and you get a colored piece of construction paper on the outside, like boom, if you can print it, you can make it, and so this is just insane.
Yeah, this is really cool. This is like very careful with this.
And that is like the first print. And so that made me realize that you can make your own comics. And so then I would have these parties in Burlington, Vermont, the original stuff Cosmic Lion did. And again, this is a complete rip of Mahfood. I kind of always say this, like his first book was 40 ounce collected, and this is just Cosmic Lion collected. And he drew his studio, and this was just my living room in my first house in Burlington.
So how old are you when you're drawing this?
Like 20.
Okay. Why Cosmic Lion? I don't think I actually ever
my grandparents grew up collecting like these lions. They always had lions. When I was in high school, I had dreads. I was a super hippie kind of guy. So the convergence of Rastafarian religion and Judaism is like around the Lion of Judah. And so that's like a big thing in both religions. And so that was something like, there was a time, and I went to the islands and I met this Rastafarian priest and did this whole thing. And we connected on, because Judaism and it's close, and there's a lot of Old Testament beliefs and stuff like that. So the lion just became a thing, and cosmic is just like, I like Star Trek and I like science fiction. And so it became that kind of thing. I think I saw this image on a Sound Tribe Sector 9 poster, which was like a lion head with this like galaxy in his forehead, which kind of became the original idea for the logo. And so that kind of cemented it all down. But I really don't have a memory in my head of when I was like, that's what I am.
Yeah. Cosmic Lion.
I don't really know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. No, you got to
all those convergences.
You got to listen to those moments, that serendipity and stuff, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy too. I had this poster from Nectar's. The first show I saw there, KRS-One. Manus opened up for him that night.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
It was insane. There's so many things like that. And here I just copied some shit out, this 2001 book. I thought it would be an interesting thing. It's kind of just like the breakdown of like God versus creativity.
Interesting.
I got real deep, man. But,
yeah, you did.
But still, this was just me.
Jim Mahfood pinups.
Yeah, of course. But see, if you turn the page, like I didn't know how to do 2-page. So it's just one-sided. All of these are.
That's really funny. Yeah.
But this was me at Kinko's. You know, I don't know too much. I had these quotes like Peter Tosh and Speech and Hunter Thompson, of course. I did the soundtrack again, ripped off of Mahfood, which is so, I mean, Speech, Peachy and Spiritual People, Pink Floyd Animals, all the Wes Anderson soundtracks.
With Mark Mothersbaugh,
Zappa,
right?
STS9, yeah. So this is like a science fiction adventure, of course I did, where he eats these like space mushrooms and he's in the Discovery and he grows these babies inside of him, and it's actually Stanley Kubrick erupts from his belly to welcome you. And then it was a lot of it was these notebooks that I did when I was traveling around. And so it's a lot of this like lost love, pining for the future that never comes. And
you know, it was really hard to find good mushrooms 20 years ago, and now I know why. It's because you had them all.
I was working for my family business, and so I was traveling around to all these like stores. And yeah, this was when I was living in New York City.
Buckethead Live.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so Mahfood just did that. I described the character. I was reading this book about Alan Moore and how he would just describe these characters to his artists, and they would interpret his words into vision. So like I just described. That's what I did to Mahfood there. This is a Buckethead pinup I did that I actually handed to him. I like was at a show at the Knitting Factory in New York City, and I was like, hey, I got to get this up to him because he's real big. He hands out toys. He does cool stuff. So I walked it up to the front of the stage, and I didn't want to be like a dick. I didn't want to like wait there because everyone was so nice. So I just laid it down and then immediately walked away. And I got 2 or 3 rows back, and everyone was like, tap me on the look. And like I looked up, and Bucket had it in his like pick hand. And with his other hand, he was like, and he like held it up like this, and then he put it down on his amp. It was so fucking sick.
Yeah.
Dude. And then I met Mahfood at one of the first cons I ever worked at. I met him there, and he did that because he was right next to Dave McKean. And so they were talking about Buckethead. Dave McKean just had done the Buckethead comic and an album cover.
And, what the hell?
This one, I was on this thing called R2D2. It was a heavy hallucinogenic. And I did have my dreads still at that point. And so, yeah, I was very messed up.
Wow. It's pretty coherent for being a heavy hallucinogenic.
These are some just like notebook drawings. Again, I like really never finished anything. And then kind of I would, cut in some drawings there.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, that's how I used to draw a lot, is just kind of smashing a bunch of faces together. And of course, there's some math in there and Deep Space Nine. And
when I was a teacher and we'd have meetings, every single one of my meeting notes looked just like this.
Oh my God. Absolutely. Me too. Jester Man, the origin. Jester Man's my original character. Yeah. So I try to do some stuff.
There he is.
Hey, that's a Dave Crossland sketch that he did for me at 3 a.m. at this funk jam we were at in Chicago.
That's rad.
And of course, Stinky Starfleet ad.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to have sponsors.
That's and cool. There's a Mahfood that he did of me and my cousin. We had a band called Elucification.
Yeah, you did. That's so cool. All right, and then let's see here.
We can spin through some of these faster. This I drew at an airport bar and did colored with colored pencils. Hawkamus was one of the events that I did at Nectar's all the time, which is a Hanukkah Christmas mashup.
Yeah.
Everyone else stole this idea off me because we had the Hawkamus bush. Oh, yeah, look at that. Little figment Eli with his turtle man. Yeah, and see, I guess I reprinted a lot of stuff. So that's but actually I finally got back two-sided.
Yeah, you figured it out.
I got a little bit.
Yeah.
Still hand.
You could do a spread.
Yeah. So yeah, there's always like a HAL 9000 type of character.
Kubrick's always showing up, busting out of somebody's guts.
And then, yeah, dude, look at that flapping open. Dude. And these are like bar drawings that I would do on the back of like tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is me milking the clock.
Yep, milking the clock. Gotta milk that clock. I wish you could milk a clock for time. I need more of it.
These are just, again, observations. I can't remember what this one is.
Sausage.
Oh, yeah. That's a Les Claypool joint. This is my, like, basic life at that point.
Love it.
Oh, look at that, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, I forgot I did that. Yeah, this is about just, again, it's my life. This is, like, about how I ruin stuff all the time.
I just ruin stuff all the time.
Oh, look, I put the same one twice. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep, this is the Cosmic Shame by Tenacious D.
So this is you working out all the kinks before you become a big comic publisher. Like, put the thing in there twice now, so you don't do it later.
Yeah, I did it again right here. I guess it's the same page. And again, reprinting. That's my old school original Jester Man comic from 3rd grade.
So cool.
And of course, another thing.
I don't know if I've said this on the show before, but I had like my brothers are like 16, 17, 18, 19 years older than me.
Yeah.
And they always had like a box in the basement of comics. Like I have like, the House of Mystery with the first Swamp Thing, from that box of comics. It's beat to shit, but it's awesome.
Nice to have.
But they always had these old ads in them, and I had a babysitter once that was watching me, and I was like, I'm gonna call this number, and she's like, I don't think your parents want you to. I was like, no, it's fine. They said I could do it. I was like very manipulative child. I got what I wanted. Nice. I was like, no, it's fine. So I called this number, and it was still working in like 1983 or whatever it was.
Wow.
And it was like, sell this many cards and you can win cash and prizes. It's like, what? It's still working. This even though the comic was published like 20 years before that. Yeah, and it was 60s, some of them, crazy. All right, so take a look at this one.
All right. This is
a big book of unfinished comics.
Yeah, because I had a real hard time about finishing stuff.
So big. You couldn't even finish it to make it big.
No, I couldn't. No. These are just quick, again, like Lost Love type shit. This one's about Fela Kuti. I wrote a whole history of Fela Kuti.
That's cool.
See, these are a little bit more evolved comics. There's a story in a bunch of them.
Yeah,
some sketches.
You can see them progressing.
Yeah, this is actually settings and background. Mm-hmm. This is a classic Sergio Aragonés thing where he's exhaling his pot smoke and it's all these swirls and shit. Yeah, so that's the original Monkey Lion page sketch that I did.
Monkey Lion is your story, your book.
Right. Returning this year between, me and Mizimo are actually working on something for Monkey Lion.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Christian Misi?
Yeah, he's the best. These were our dogs. They always caused havoc at our apartment, and this is, again, thinking about how I got too high to work this one day and how I had this threesome, but didn't really work out in the end. And
oh, God damn it.
Hunter Thompson always kind of showing up.
That's great. That's a great drawing.
Thanks, man.
I like his his chimpanzee body here.
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember this one. The Klutz. Oh yeah, I'm always messing stuff up. I probably got yelled at by a senior bartender that night. It was like, oh fuck.
Oh
so
man.
Pissed.
I gotta go home and write comics about it.
That's what I would always do. Oh, these are super old. These are Post-it notes from my job in 2003 in New York City.
Oh wow.
I think my cousin Luke drew that one.
So cool.
Stimpy. It's always Buckethead.
Oh yeah.
Ren and Stimpy.
All right, we got one. Oh, wait.
You're into
Atari.
Atari computers.
Yeah, you're into Atari computers. So are we.
And it's Parker Brothers.
Yeah.
What even is this app?
The award-winning Frogger is one of the top-selling arcade games of all time.
Yes.
Rightly so.
All right.
Still
Here's
play that
another. I probably reprinted a bunch more shit, but you can tell this is the first one I did computer graphics with.
Okay.
This is a logo my friend made for me. I blew up this drawing I did.
So he made this like. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she made that logo for me, and I superimposed it. That was the early Cosmic Lion logo.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so these are a little bit further along.
Yeah, there's color.
Yeah. And see, these are a lot longer. I mean, these are like too much words at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at that point these were like a fusion of my notebook and my life. And so, it's like my heart is like shooting me in the face. It's like jumping out of my chest. And, so
damn, dude.
Oh, this is actually some stuff when I was living in the Virgin Islands. And so these are just sketches I did down there. This was something I would do a lot of times at bars. I would take an 8.5 by 11, fold it into 4s.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would draw each one of these things separate and then unfold it and just kind of see what I got at the end of the night.
This belongs in the big book of unfinished comics.
It absolutely does. Yes. Yes. Oh, this is some shit I was showing off on my Instagram the other night. I completely forgot,
Look at that.
honestly, what was in these. This was a dream I had about meeting my younger self and how embarrassed I was and stuff.
Wow. I wonder what this younger self would think of older self today.
I know. I got to do one. I would say that's the worst hand I've ever seen. Work on your hands, bro. But then look at this hand. Look how advanced that fucking hand is.
Yeah.
And look at this one.
Yeah,
So like
you're figuring stuff out.
Yeah. And here I started trying to use, because like I had probably watched Mahfood do it. I used chalk over like some black marker there.
Yeah. You watch somebody else experiment, then you experiment yourself, and then you come up with your own ways to experiment. It's how you grow,
And look, I was working on some collage shit.
Hell yeah.
Joe Mad, and of course the classic battle of the brain versus the heart.
Well, yeah.
For a woman. I was actually really proud of the perspective I did in this comic, because this is like me staring down at my body like floating in the ocean.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Love this face.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so this was just a lot of St. John, Virgin Island shit. Again, this is me writing out this song by Bela Fleck and the Flecktones about Arjuna, which is like a story from the Quran, I think, or something.
So crazy.
And this is like my old girlfriend, and
Squiggy the Poop is your old girlfriend?
Yeah, I mean, this is who all the shit is about. That she drew that and put it in here. So
wow.
That's kind of me being a little sap, a sappy pap. Oh, this is like this old Rasta dude. He saw me drawing and one night, and he like wanted to be part of it. That's what he wrote and drew. And this is a story about this dude, Steve-O, who was teaching me how to be a chef. And I thought he was a total asshole. But in actuality, by the end of my time at this restaurant, he taught me a lot.
Yeah.
But sometimes you hate someone that is being hard on you and trying to teach you. And, so by the end you realize, okay, he was just trying to teach me.
Yeah. Oh shit. It worked.
Yeah. Here's another kind of craziness going on.
Is this? This is upside down. I think
it was
any
one of those
way that
things
you want.
This might have been one of those 4-way things too. Yeah.
Went from threesomes to 4-way.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of shit on this one. Oh, this is actually good. This might be I guess this is the latest one of these, the last one of these. Oh yeah, these are all the tickets that I would draw like while I was working at this bar called Larry's Landing, which was a pour your own bar. So like if you ordered rum and Coke, I would give you the rum, a bottle of rum, a can of Coke, and a glass of ice, and you just mix it however you would want.
Whoa.
$7.
Jeez.
Yeah. So this is a story that I didn't bother to try to orient, but it was meant to be like in a mini comic size.
I see.
And I mean, look at these establishing shots.
Yeah.
2 levels, and it's not so bad.
You're using the rule of thirds for the most part. Some places here.
Yeah.
Wow,
this is Wes Anderson.
It's advanced. Well, if it was,
but it's about air hockey.
If it was Wes Anderson, everything would be right in the middle.
Yeah,
everything would be a punctuation mark.
Yeah, so they're playing air hockey for like. I actually think this is page 1, that's page 2, and this is page 3. The way it was like folded. So like, why didn't I bother to like do something about that? But it's all good. Oh, and then here's more St. John stories. This was about the different people that I would meet at the bar, because there was a lot of characters down there.
Well, I can't imagine that you were not going to deal with like so many shit-faced people by the end of the day at a place that tells you can pour your own rum.
Yeah. And I mean, there was, a lot of locals, but there was also a lot of, tourists and stuff. So there was an equal amount of tourists and locals. Yeah.
Oh, you can pour your own drinks at this place. Hey, I'm an alcoholic.
Sick. Let's go. Oh, this is from Amsterdam. This is an Amsterdam map. And then look at that author photo.
That's you?
Yeah. I had no beard and a mohawk.
What the heck?
My roommate's Halloween
You still got that dress, though.
I do have it, yeah. Yeah. Constant quest for eternal internal happiness.
Yeah, you are bursting at the seams. That's funny.
Fusing his love of literature with his love of comics, he creates these vignettes into his mind. Move that quotation over.
Yeah.
More than tell a story, these vignettes will lead you on a quest back to yourself, posing questions, providing insights, and beckoning the soul to set itself free. So pack up and leave behind your state of mind. Man, I always had a way with words, didn't I?
Yeah, man.
Oh, and the back cover is something else, too. I was sitting beside a lake, and I just smoked salvia. And usually a couple other times salvia made me feel like my body folded into like a triangle.
Yes. This
time I saw this flaming cosmic lion like going through the sky.
Wow.
So that's what that is, with my heart in tow.
You actually saw something on it.
Yeah.
That's a trip.
Free your heart and the rest will follow.
Oh, yeah. Almost to quote En Vogue.
Yeah.
Must have been listening to a lot of En Vogue back
then. Man, I was In Vogue myself.
That's right. On salvia.
Hey, man, that was awesome looking through these.
This is really cool.
I have not looked at these for a really long time.
And then from here, you were like, you know what? I'm going to become a giant mega publisher.
From here, I don't think I did anything for years. This doesn't really say. Oh, 07, winter 07. So I didn't make my next comic for 5 years about.
Okay.
The Mathematicians, Fear Nuttin Band, and STS9.
Wait. Where's that? Yeah, here. What the heck?
Fear Nuttin Band was this metal reggae band. They were awesome.
Wow.
And these are both bands that I saw in Burlington. And
Max.
Yeah, hell yeah. And the Mathematicians were like a Devo punkadelic funk. And they would always ask, dude, this is one of the best nights.
Devo punkadelic funk.
Yes, I coined this term for them.
Okay.
Because I was bar backing that night and there wasn't a lot of people. And they would do this thing where they would get people in the audience to freestyle. And so this one guy freestyled. I was like, my friend Wally, I was like, Wally, I want to try this. I got to do this. And so this one guy came up and he's like, my name is Freddie and I'm here to say I'm the greatest rapper in this bar today. And I was like, dude, this guy's fucking blows. And so I went up and they like did this thing. I can give you the audio because my buddy taped it. And so the guy's like, all right, who's next for Burlington? And then I come up there and I don't know where it came from. Because I try to fuck around and rap and try to do freestyles and stuff. But this was out of this world enough to where these guys, every time they came to Burlington, asked me to do stuff. Yeah. So the second time though, I was like, I'm gonna write something, I'm gonna do something. And it just wasn't as good as that first like freestyle, but you can listen to the audio right here.
Here we go. Come on, somebody's got to say something. Yes, sir. Here we go. Well, that is the best. Nectar's Friday. We like the mathematician style. I like to flow to the go-go. It's my friend in the red sweater vest. I like to talk the test. Take the test and I pass my math class. Oh, yes. It's the pin style. It's the things we like with the big old sunglasses. They're eyeglasses, but I like them. It helps me see when I dance around. It's my friends. The Mathematicians, it sounds so good, like diva classic rock hardcore, funkadelic funk, and I like it, and it makes me wanna go. I like
was so sick.
Yeah, it was sick. That was sick, man. I've never
So
heard anything
funny.
like that before.
See? Yes.
Dude, this was really cool. This is a cool way to do this episode because you really
Yeah,
get like a whole
Thank you so much for
Whole
letting
thing.
me do that.
letting
That was
you.
awesome. Well,
Thanks for coming
for
on and
indulging
indulging me.
these old bullshit comics.
So, well, yeah, man. So listen, Cosmic Lion Productions. They're in previews right now. We've got Death Slinger. We've got Half the Crown, and we've got Wait It Gets Worse. So get your butt to your shop. Tell them you want to order these books. Get them, or go to CosmicLionProductions.com, where there are 25 other books waiting for you to grab. All of them are completely different.
Yes.
Very unique. Every single one of them.
And from all over the world.
It's just you've got a really fucking cool thing going on. So
Thanks, Chris.
so go check that out. And yeah, man, thanks for coming on the channel. Thanks, buddy. All right, peace. Join my Patreon to see my work before anyone else. Plus, score physical sketchbooks, mini comics, and commissions delivered right to your door. And reading my new books, Something Seems Off and Three-Headed Pigman, as they are made. Go to my website to order original art, commissions, and my books, Lost Angels, Spectral: A Showcase of Fear, Chaotic Neutral, and more. Gray Matter Drip, The Art of Chris Anderson, is available now from Cosmic Lion Productions. Here are the upcoming conventions I'll be at the time of this recording. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. It helps spread the word. Thanks.